Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Innovire Conference, Procurement of Innovation in 2023, Challenges and Opportunities. My name is Miguel Gonçalves, and let me say that I'm very excited to be here with you today, because it is true that we will talk about challenges, but our amazing panelists will also present many opportunities for the buyers of innovation. And we want to offer you this conference in a record time of 1.5 hours to give you the best content possible in a short period of time. So let's have a quick look at the agenda. In a minute, Viorel Pecca, Head of Unit at the European Innovation Council, will join me to share a few welcome words with you. We'll have a keynote speech on Procurement of Innovation in 2023, Challenges and Opportunities. This will set the tone for the conference and provide also valuable insights into the current state of the field. After the keynote speech, we will have a roundtable where experts from different sectors and backgrounds will engage in a lively discussion on the challenges and also best practice in procurement of innovation. And the conference will culminate and will end in a reverse pitch session where 9 EU-powered projects will present opportunities currently available for buyers of innovation. So we hope that you will find this event informative, valuable, and without further ado, I'll pass this virtual floor to Viorel Pecca, Head of Unit at the EIC.
Thank you, Miguel. I hope you hear me well. Good morning to you all, and welcome to the Procurement of Innovation in 23 Challenge and Opportunities conference. It's a real pleasure to be with you today. We know that public procurement represents a significant share of European GDP, more than 2,000 billion euro per year. We also know that many public procurers are largely risk adverse and not that inclined to purchase new or innovative solution. And of course, we have both public and private procurer, and recently we have seen that private procurer also face challenges when procuring innovation. And I mean big private procurers that you would have not thought about this. And I hope you are familiar with this joke. If I have to, with pleasure, because we are in a similar situation today, a bit more serious now, and no later than yesterday, and I'm sure many of you have heard or seen this. UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change issued to all of us a stark warning. By the middle of next decade, it may be too late to avoid a cycle of climate-induced disaster that dwarf what's already happening across the globe. Climate neutrality requires massive technological change and investment in innovation. It's not me who's saying this. It's International Energy Agency that estimates that around 50% of emission reduction need to come from technology that are not yet on the market, but are at demonstration or prototype stage. So it's clear we won't solve today and tomorrow's problem and challenges with yesterday's solution. It is, I think, imperative that we change not only our behavior, of course, but we also change our purchasing culture. That we are a bit bolder there. Therefore, the public and private buyer need to buy innovative solution. Innovative procurement can help to address these challenges, and obviously climate challenge is only one of the challenges, by bringing together buyers and suppliers to work on innovative solution and deliver better and more efficient services, citizen, customer, and we've seen to the planet. One of the major advantages of the procurement of innovation that it can help, not by default, but it can help the level playing field for small and medium SMEs and startups. And why for them? Because we know that more than others, not the only one, but more than others, the new solution are coming from startups and SMEs, the one that are changing the game and produce these innovative solutions that we badly need. These companies these small companies find it difficult to access funding and equally important, access to new market. But working with public and private buyers or procurers, they can deploy these new products and services and gain the traction and reputation that they badly need to scale up and achieve impact. It's only by scaling up that they achieve impact. As you probably know, EIC supporting since more than the European Commission, is supporting more than a decade the procurement of innovations with PCP or NPPI. And in addition to these important tools, since 2 or 3 years now, the European Innovation Council is developing new initiatives to bring together buyers and suppliers in a shorter, if you want, more agile, faster, time-adapted instrument adapted to SMEs and startup needs. InnoBuyer is one of these actions. It aims at supporting you, the buyers, public and private, from the identification of your challenges until to the launch of tenders in a lean approach that includes funding for the co-creation of solution with innovative companies. And many other supporting initiatives are currently available for procurers, will be presented today, and we also have some new in store. These actions are at a pilot scale for the moment, but we wish to try to see what works, what doesn't, how to and pivot in order to learn and to potential develop bigger, more mainstream action to bridge the gap between the SMEs or even EIC SMEs and buyers of innovation. I hope this event will help you advance your procurement agenda, procurement of innovation activities, and I count on each one of you to spread the word for the ongoing call, open call for ideas or for proposal of InnoBuyer, which will stay open until 31st of March. And there we look for public and private organizations that have challenges to solve to help them solve those challenges. Thank you, and I wish you a good learning experience today.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, for those kind words and for the promotion of the InnoBuyer call as well. Much appreciated. So without further ado, we are honored to have our keynote speaker today, Samira Boussetta from the DG Grow of the European Commission, who is a leading expert in the field of procurement of innovation with over 20 years of experience in both the private but also the public sector. She helps organizations to develop programs to better connect with providers of innovation and supports startups to develop their businesses with the public sector across Europe, while also making innovation and sustainable procurement happen on the ground. And we are thrilled to have Samira Boussetta with us today to share her expertise and inspire us to embrace innovation in our procurement strategies. So, dear Samira, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Miguel. Good morning, all, and thank you to the InnoBuyer consortium members for the invitation today. I'm really happy to share with you some, let's say, key messages which we think here in DG Grow that it's really important to push innovation and sustainable procurement. And first, I wanted to share with you some data on public procurement. It was just said before, but I think that it's really important again to share the figures which show let's say the economic power of public procurement in Europe. And here, the data is really to show that when we talk about procurement, I'm focusing on public procurement, but it's the same for private procurement. We are really talking about the power of purchasing, meaning that we have the capacity, the financial capacity to drive the market and to push the market to develop the solutions which fit the needs and the future needs of buyers. And here we see that the numbers are quite huge and not really used, or let's say tapped in the most efficient way. And again, just to support my first point, is that the way we see public procurement today is that public procurement is horizontal by definition, meaning that public procurement is, let's say, a bit everywhere. It's an important tool to achieve different policy objectives. And when we see also the different numbers, if I take the example of health, if I take the example of ICT, if I take the example of energy, again, it's a key instrument for the transformation and the modernization of public sector and public services. It shows also that procurement is really at the core of the functioning of public organization, and it's the main tool, main way to develop more sustainable services. This is why us, DG GROW, we try to push innovation procurement and to link it to the different, let's say, strategic policies developed by the Commission, such as the Green Deal, for example, because innovation and sustainability, I mean, they are more than very linked. The point just mentioned before my presentation, that 50% of the reduction of CO2 emission will come from solutions which are not already developed. It means that when we talk about innovation now, we have to also to talk about sustainability. But it's so linked to the development or the growth of the internal market, and especially the growth of SMEs and startups, because yeah, the main solution, innovative solutions, comes from these small companies, and we need to reinvent or just reinvent the way we will, the way buyers have to work with these really important stakeholders. But it's also linked to the necessity to develop the digital transition, and so to help also buyers to modernize the services they are providing. So now we are here in the main, let's say, opportunity linked to a challenge, which means that the question today for mainly for public organization, but also for private organization, is how they can direct their economic power of procurement towards a greater, let's say, efficiency, more sustainability, more innovation. The challenges that cities, hospitals, and also public, let's say, administration in general have to respond to is, in order to make innovation procurement not only just, let's say, a topic that we debate, but has to be a reality, and I would say a more mainstream reality. So yeah, now it's the time to talk more about the challenges and the different challenges that we DG GROW and with the other colleagues in the IC and other DGs in the European Commission, we are also identifying. First is how to really make innovation procurement happening on the ground, and the different challenges that we see, and for us, which are important, is to first develop, let's say, the experience of learning by doing. Our challenge here, I'm talking more for us, DG GROW, but I think it's shared with the other colleagues, is to provide the best possible support for buyers in Europe, public and private buyers, so they can develop the let's say, the know-how, the methodologies, the process in order to buy innovative solutions. And we need to first try to push for more cooperation between buyers. I've put public buyers because I'm following the public procurement file, but I think that more and more we will have to link public buyers to private buyers too. They share the same concerns, they share the same barriers, and also they share the same needs. And then we'll have also to develop, let's say, the way buyers work together to try to have more impact on the market, on the intern market, and also to have more impact for SMEs and startups. This is why we are testing different, let's say, type of projects in order to really make it happen on the ground, make innovation procurement happening on the ground. One of the first type of project is the development of spaces which allow collaboration between public buyers and innovative companies. Here, the main difficulty is first, let's say, to get buyers and public buyers especially to change their approach to the way they define their needs. We see that the main challenge here is to, let's say, have a more challenge-based approach, I would say, to their needs than just defining, let's say, the technical specification as they do, which is more or less describing the solution they want to have, but more to say, I have this problem, I have this kind of challenge or objective, I don't know what is the solution which will help me achieving this objective, but this is my challenge today. And this is the role also of these brokers we try to put in place to really help buyers developing a new approach to the way they assess the need, but also to work with the suppliers, to work with innovative SMEs and startups, to raise awareness among this, let's say, ecosystem that public procurement or procurement in general is a market for them, and to see what kind of support we can build to help SMEs and startups access to this market. The other type of project we are pushing and financing is let's say the PPI project, so Public Procurement of Innovation project, which means that we choose consortia of public buyers who share the same challenges, the same needs of innovation, and they cooperate together to buy the innovative solutions. And why we think this kind of project is really, let's say, relevant for buyers and interesting for buyers is first, it's really about pushing the cooperation between public buyers. We think that it's really key. Why? Because when we buy innovation alone, it's kind of expensive, not on the price of the solution, I'm just putting this aside, but on the cost of investment in the project itself. You need some skills, maybe, you need resources, you need some space to test the solutions, and and you need also to do all the market consultation activity, etc. So it's kind of important cost for buyers, and to reach out this level of maturity is not that easy. Therefore, by pooling, let's say, the needs, it's not just about the need to buy the innovative solutions, but it's also, let's say, sharing and reducing the costs of buying an innovative solutions. But also with this cooperation, they develop together the methodology and the let's say the process in order to make their organization more open to innovation and sustainability. So my second challenge that I would like to share with you, and I think that here it's linked to my previous previous slide, is how to develop a strong collaboration between buyers. I would say again, for me, private buyers have really their let's say interest also to cooperate with public buyers. Why? Because by bringing their different experiences, know-how, the different levels also of maturity, they really can accelerate the development of their capacity to purchase innovative and sustainable solutions. I think that the power of collaboration is still underestimated and really needs to be much more developed because we still see this collaboration as more, okay, let's work together on a procurement project. But for me, and I think that the buyers, private or public, have their, let's say, in their hands, they have the possibility really to overcome their barriers. And this is what we are trying to push here also, to create some spaces to develop this collaboration. But the challenge is when you are trying to push for more collaboration between public buyers is first, how to also embark the companies in this collaboration, because buyers can't just, cooperate on their side. They have to engage this dialogue with the market in order to develop the right, let's say, practices, procurement practices. But the also key, let's say, elements is how we engage decision makers. In cities, it's the elected representatives, for example. But in companies, it's the CEOs, how we really engage them in this collaboration to, let's say, make sure that in the organization, everybody is on board to take the risk in investing in innovation. So here, what we are trying to do is to develop communities of practice. I think that also colleagues from the EIC believe in this kind of way of working, by really bringing buyers, big buyers in Europe, so they can share their needs for innovative and sustainable goods and services. And our program here is to have 10 working groups working on different topics, such as social procurement, digital or ICT, fair ICT, for example, procurement, but also in health, etc. To develop together the tools they really need to buy more innovative and sustainable solutions, and to support this the creation of those communities. We're about to launch a new digital platform, which will allow to create more, let's say, strong links between public buyers. The last challenge I see, and for me, I think for me it's the main one, because, okay, that's good to develop good collaboration with buyers. That's good to create this, let's say, space where innovative companies and buyers dialogue and engage together, and etc. This is great, and this is also what we're trying to do with the colleagues, the IC colleagues. But the main point is how to support buyers to hire or to train their staff to have the right, the good skills needed today in order to make innovation procurement happening on the ground. Why I'm saying that? It's there is a real change, let's say, of paradigm when it comes to innovation procurement. The way we buy we buy today, if I'm just talking about public procurement, let's say, it's that we do the main focus on the legal aspect of the preparation of the tender documents. We are just focusing on the procedure, and that's it. Okay, so if we do this well, we think that the procurement is well done, and that's it. But when it comes to innovation procurement, and it's the same for green and social procurement, we have to change the approach to procurement. We have to think in a more systemic way, and also to develop a more ecosystemic approach, which means that we need to think about our procurement in an entire system, and we need to create or to develop or to connect to the innovation ecosystem. So the focus is more on the preparation of the procurement process, let's say, and also to develop the let's say, one of the phase which is not really covered, let's say, by the directive, is the contract execution phase, where the innovation is really happening in your organization. So it's a totally new approach to procurement, and to do this, to help buyers to really try to transform the way they approach procurement, we need to support them in getting the new skills. So we need to identify what are the real needs of, let's say, knowledge creation and also support. We need to think about new way of training also people. But, and this is my last point, we need not just to cover the training and the capacity building aspect. We need also to work with public organization. It's our scope, but we can also share this with the private organization. So they can start create from the inside a procurement function or procurement department, which is strong on the skills aspect, but also legitimate, which means that it's at a very strategic level within the organization. And this is a real challenge here, because this is what decision makers should push for, and see how they can create this procurement function. On our side, we try to touch upon this more organizational aspects by creating new knowledge. We have two guidance, one on innovation procurement and one on social procurement. We also try to tackle more technical, let's say, questions. How can I work with startups if I'm on the public side? I'm a startup. I want to work with the public sector. How can I do? So we have published two brochures for each let's say side of the market, so we try really to build also very specific knowledge. For example, the studies on how to price the value in innovation partnerships. So to give really the some keys to buyers, so they can really develop innovation procurement. And we try also to disseminate and to communicate as much as we can. We have this newsletter, and we also have some links here where you can find all the information, all our, let's say, documents we are publishing. I think it's the last slide. I stop here. I hope I respected the timing.
Thank you so much for this fast-paced keynote speech, Samira. That was excellent, fully packed with really valuable information. Thank you so much for that. We can now move to the roundtable session that will be moderated by Jorge Gonzalez, CEO at TIC Biomed, to see what our roundtable speakers think about what was just presented. And Jorge, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Miguel. I'm asking my colleague panelists to switch on their cameras. We have with us Bertrand Bert, Marlene Grauer, Sonia Muller, and Patricio Saez. You guys are on the screen. Thank you very much. I'm going to do a very quick round the table, and then I'm going to give the word to the different panelists. So I'm Jorge Gonzalez. I'm the CEO of TIC Biomed. We are an association that we specialize in demand-driven co-creation of innovation and how to make it more impactful. Patricio.
Hello, I'm Patricio, CEO of Sigma Industrial Precision. We are a industrial startup based in Barcelona, helping infrastructures and companies to be more resilient through the analysis of the electricity.
Sonia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sonia Müller. I work as a senior researcher and project manager for Empirica, which is a research and consultancy organization based in Bonn.
Marlene.
Good morning. I'm Marlene. I work for the Competence Center for Innovation Procurement in Germany, and I am also the Secretariat of the European Network of Competence Centers.
Bertrand.
Good morning, all. Buenos días, Jorge. Yeah, so Bertrand Wert, working for the EIC, European Innovation Council, the Business Acceleration Services activities, and that's the reason why I'm here, supporting actually InnoBuyer, which is one of our programs. Thank you very much, all.
Thanks to you, Bertrand. So I would like to start with Patricio. Samira has done a very, very interesting presentation on this, almost of the state of the art and especially the challenges of innovation procurement. Patricio, can you highlight something of her presentation that struck to you?
Well, I saw something interesting regarding this combination, no? Because we are speaking about the public procurement for corporations or public organizations, and that usually are quite small, innovating because of their structure, no? In our case, being a startup, a small company that is very focused in a market and is trying different solutions, we can accelerate a lot the process for innovation. And this is something that can be very complementary, so they can join and really deliver nice solutions to the market. And I think it is wise that the European Commission is going and looking to support that.
Thank you very much, Patricio. Sonia, your highlight?
Yes, what I wanted to refer to is what Samira said, that innovative solutions may be new or highly improved products, but that also new ways of working and organizing need to be considered, and that procurement more and more needs to take place in an ecosystem. I find that aspect extremely important, especially in the area of health and care where I work, but it's probably true for many other areas as well. Because a process innovation or change is often still neglected or not considered to a great extent these days during the whole innovation process, meaning that the innovation development and also procurement is very product oriented yet. So what our experiences in many of the projects we are working on shows is that implementation of an innovative solution, let's say a technology, for example, into real practice is more difficult to be achieved than solely inventing a new solution that might be a wonderful user-friendly solution. As soon as it meets existing service structures, processes, and also cultures of thinking, because it will be implemented into real practice. So the innovation somehow meets the reality in terms of services being provided, and that is often, yeah, a very contextual bound. Many service processes are sitting behind the solution, so that needs to be considered in parallel along with the whole innovation process. So that is what I wanted to highlight and what struck me with Samira's presentation.
Fantastic. Before giving the word to Marlene, I just want to let you know that you have the possibility to put questions, comments, anything. I would love this session to be very participative, so I encourage you to do so. We will be addressing them. So please use. If you go to the bottom of the screen, you will see there the facility to put that questions or again suggestions, anything that you want to share with us. Marlene.
Yeah, what resonated with me was Samira highlighting like the need for capacity building on the side of the public procurers. And I think this actually links quite nicely to what Sonia was saying, that it's not necessarily from the public procurer side about the new product or the new service that is being invented, but about the strategic way of going about the procurement. And this is a very important way of thinking about it. And with our competence center and also the other 10 competence centers that we have across our network, this is one of our key focuses, is training for public procurers so they can actually achieve those innovation goals. And they're not just pressured from a policy level to go and achieve innovation targets that they don't have the capacity to do. So this is where we need to bring policy and practice together.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Marlene. Bertrand?
Yeah, thank you, Roge, and thank you all. Well, I would like perhaps to insist on three aspects of on Samira's presentation and then the discussions that followed. First of all, based on the experiences that they developed in DG Grow, where Samira is working, the different programs that she presented, indeed, this aspect of the ecosystemic approach, meaning procurers can't be alone. They have to be encouraged and supported when they are wishing to work with other market players, which can be other public or private procurers, but also they need to be encouraged and supported when they wish to engage with the companies, with the potential suppliers. We know the big cultural and legalistic wrong interpretation sometimes, bias that is discouraging precisely procurers to work with others. And we have to fight against this. And I do believe that what they initiated in DG Grow is quite promising. And I think we see already some of the results. It's also what we try to do actually within the EIC. At our modest and small level, we do try to support public procurers, notably to work with the suppliers and notably the startups and companies. This is linked to the second point I wanted to say, is that procurers are not alone. They should not be alone. They should also, as Samira said, try to be encouraged and supported to work more with private procurers. There are some good practice to be exchanged, even if indeed the context, the framework is different, notably the legal framework, because they don't have to follow a precise legal European common legal framework for the private procurers. But still, they certainly have many good practices to be exchanged and learned, notably precisely in the link with the potential suppliers. And finally, indeed, I think one of the key issue here are the resources or the capacities of the public procurers, notably. Indeed, we know all the potential risks that are on the shoulders of public procurers when they engage in a quite risky environment of procuring innovative solutions. I mean, this is not new. We all more or less know all these challenges and difficulties. But my final words on that would be that we should support more public procurers to go for these potential risky developments, and notably in offering them a safer financial environment, and certainly some encouragement, financial encouragement, individual financial encouragement to go for these innovative solutions.
Thank you very much, Bertrand. Seems that there is a question for Samira. Unfortunately, I don't see her in the among us, so I'm going to put it to all the panel because I think that is very interesting for him. So she said in her presentation that one of the challenges is defining the outcomes, okay, of the public procurement. So I'm going to put the question. I don't know if anyone wants to take it first. I don't know if it makes sense that everybody answers this. Any takers for this question? Either or I choose a volunteer for answering this question. So Sonia.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can take it from the area of health and care. I mean, because this is quite a complex environment with many stakeholders involved, and some of them might have like different views on what a solution shall deliver as an outcome. So in the area of health and care, I could imagine, and I don't know what she meant, to be honest, but in that area, I could imagine that defining the outcome is a problem or difficult because the outcome for each and every stakeholder involved in the whole process might be or could be a different one. And then to agree on a final outcome could be a challenge. I mean, it's not said that it is not possible, but it could be challenging to do so. So that would be my take from the area of health and care, but there might be others who want to join.
Any other contribution to this question? No? Okay, so I'm going to keep encouraging the audience to put questions through this channel. Meanwhile, I'm going to do another round. Now, so we have commented on Samira's presentation. Now I want to start with Patricio again, stating, can you share a key message with the audience, hopefully based on your experience in innovation procurement? If you had to share something, what that will be?
For us, I'm speaking as a CEO of still a small company. We have been developing the solution during 5 years, and we have we have several corporations as clients, and it is a long way to go there, no? Usually for us, it has been like 1 year to catch a client, no, to convince him that our technology is different and can help them. So it's a long way, and in this way, is for us, it's difficult sometimes to fund the company. So we don't have the same amount of resources than big corporations or big suppliers, no, and usually big procurers work with big procurers because they want to mitigate the risk and they want to have all the points in the list covered, no? And innovation usually is different, no? So we need to modify things, we need to focus resources on some aspects, and we are not fulfilling all the list many times. So it's a balance.
Right. Share a trick with us. Okay, what
trick
can work from own experience? I mean, don't tell the Coca-Cola secret, but tell us something that you can share with the audience that worked with you. Any lesson learned or any best practice that you can think of?
In our case, you cannot stop. This is something like I don't know if you are familiar with this lean startup solution, no, where you are developing, changing, learning, and it's something that has to be done continuously, and then share that with your customers and be visible. I mean, in our case, we started the company many years ago. We got this Horizon 2020 Phase 1 grant, and with that, we entered to this European EIC acceleration services. And from that, we have been able to participate in calls like this. And with that, we have gained visibility, and also we have gained some trust for big corporations because we already have this like label saying, okay, if the European Commission has approved this project, that means that is something with them, no? So this is one way.
Right, so I take this key message, try to get as much trust as possible in front of, it could be by joining the EIC, or it can be by any other means, but try to deliver trust as a first entry
to balance this situation.
Okay, fantastic, Patricia. Thank you very much, Sonia.
Thanks.
Yeah, a topic for discussion in the pre-commercial procurements we are at the moment involved in is the topic of innovation meets reality, how I often phrase it. So innovative ideas of the suppliers are, that's how I at least see it, are often slowly accepted or implemented, or it's challenging to accept by the procuring organizations because of several reasons. And it relates a bit to what I said earlier. And I think it also relates a bit to the issue of trust, maybe also Patricio mentioned earlier, which I think needs quite some time to be built up, if you see what I mean. So what we see is that, and what is important to say is that behind every solution introduced into, in my case, of course, into a health and care organization, service process has to sit, and that most likely needs to change in order for it to become successful. And that is often easier said than done, I would say. So there is a high workload health and care professionals are facing already. And then often these new solutions are being tested or piloted, and at least in the first phase often come on top of their usual workload they have to do in the mainstream service provision. And that is sometimes often a challenge, and of course does not help for the acceptance of the new innovation. I alluded to that already, different views of different health and care professionals involved that can be contradictory, oftentimes are also not like supporting the acceptance of a new solution, which again is this kind of innovation meets reality on the ground. Often we see that there is no change management implemented. There's no culture for change management in the organization. And again, that's easier said than done, as we realize in our projects as well. Yeah, and I think you also have to interfere somehow with decision powers inside an organization. That is not so easy to be done. And even if you have a very good change management process, yeah, there is resistance to change sometimes, I guess.
So I stop you here because the list of challenges that you have made is impressive, and we are dealing most of the time with public organizations, yes, especially in the area of health, which is your area. Now, if you have to choose a starting point, an action that is a starting point, hopefully at systemic level or not just in one organization, what would that be?
On a systemic level, it's difficult because of the processes taking place on the ground. So if I would do a recommendation, which is quite theoretical and again difficult in practice, is try to involve all stakeholders from scratch and give them a say in the development, give them a say in the innovation development. And also, and that's maybe a bit more on the systemic level, better link procurement departments or decision makers in an organization with, in my case, the people who actually have to provide the service. So facilitate that communication in the first place.
How, Sonia, how?
You have to talk to each other. You have to implement.
How will you do that?
You have to talk to each other. You have to implement maybe a multidisciplinary stakeholder group in that organization. Things like that, I could imagine, could be helpful.
Right. So maybe Samira's big buyer and what Bertrand maybe tell us later, that they are like forums or meeting points, and when people create agreements. Okay, so thank you very much for highlighting the challenges. Obviously, we cannot solve all the challenges in this telco, but it's a good idea and hopefully food for thought. Also, we have the commission here, so it's very good to hear that. Marlene.
I did mean to say something else, but now I want to add something to Sonia, because you are asking really hard questions. But I should also give procurers time before you are expecting a tender. Because often a user is coming to a public procurer saying, I need you to buy this, instead of saying, in a year time or in 6 months time, I need this, because the pre-procurement phase is the most important phase where public procurers have the chance to actually influence the innovative outcome, choose a innovative method for their procurement instead of just saying, I'm drawing up tender specifications. But initially what I wanted to refer to something Patricio said in terms of continuity for a company, because from a competence center perspective, obviously we have the national mandate from our governments to support public procurers, but what we have been noticing is that we also need to support the other side. We need to support the market, and this is something where we are moving into, or some of the competence centers are further along than others. We want to offer innovative companies this ability to continuously stay in contact with public procurers through either open innovation platforms, through market engagement events, through innovation database, like databases for innovative products. And all of this is something we want to expand in the next couple of years.
Okay, fantastic. Bertrand, before you answer, I don't know, within your answer, you can take. We have a question from the audience talking about driving social development. Only if it is part of your speech, or you can link to that. Otherwise, please give your insights, and then we take it from the panel.
Thanks a lot, Jorge. And regarding the question in the chat, community procurement to drive social development. I would need a bit of more explanation on the idea of social development. I have the feeling of what is all about, but it would be helpful.
Let's do something, Bertrand. Let's first give your insight. I'm going to ask the person that put that question to make him provide more feedback, more background, and then we take it from there. Bertrand,
thanks a lot. Yes. So first I wanted to react to Patricio's words. Indeed, and hi Patricio, it's a pleasure to see you here. Actually, you're one of our good example of a success in trying to bridge actually very innovative SMEs and startup. Patricio's one actually that has been amongst those support that you received the one of the EAC. So we are very pleased about that. And more than the financial support that we gave you, actually, we also gave you the possibility to meet with, in this case, a private procurer, Portuguese hospital, if I'm not wrong, in order to have the possibility for you actually to deploy your solution. So it has been one of the successes that we had in supporting more than financially the companies part of the EAC via this type of non-financial support, if I can say, more than a grant. We also offer these kind of services where we try to bridge actually our best in the class innovative startups and SMEs with potential clients, and in this case public or private procurers. So just to say that indeed, as he brilliantly recall, I mean, much of these business relations are about confidence or also the support that we can bring to these market players, the financial support, but also the reputational support. Indeed, when we, the European Union or Commission or the EAC comes to the companies and support the companies after this thorough assessment of their proposal to join the EAC, indeed, it can make the difference, and it's really interesting to hear about that. That it also plays an important role in the field of procurement. What I wanted also perhaps to say is that more generally is that we have the feeling that we do not yet succeed enough in trying to support both sides, procurers, buyers, or suppliers, to work more together. So we have a certain feeling that we could even do more. And what I wanted also to bring, perhaps as a suggestion, to provoke a little bit, perhaps the debate. I mean, again, it's a classic here, but still, it's notably for public procurement, is that those the current legislation, those the current regulation, those the current directives are supportive enough the innovation procurement realization. Should we try to invent perhaps or to deploy some more regulatory aspect, notably towards SMEs and startups, as my head of unit, Viorel Pekka, recalled earlier, and also Samira. Indeed, we know that innovation comes very often by new market players or small market players that have an advantage in suggesting, bringing new innovative solutions compared to the large corporates. And Sonia, working in the healthcare sector, we all know that, you all know that by heart, that most of the solutions existing are actually offered by very large market players, notably the 10 big US companies that are actually blocking to a certain extent the market. They are making the rules, or they are making they are framing the market, and they are impeaching some newcomers to get in. So just to say, should it be one of the way that we could also extend, precise more the regulation? And I will finish here just to suggest we all have that in mind, that we know that in the US, they have some larger possibilities and to include actually small market players, SMEs and startups. We know that they have these regulatory obligations towards certain number of public procurers, the federal agencies, for them to embark actually small market players. They have bounding objectives via notably all the trend of the SBIR and the small business, the SBA, the Small Business Act. So this is not novel what I'm saying here, but I'm bringing it into the debate. And again, I'm asking collectively if we should try to have a look on this aspect of developing new regulation.
Thank you, Bertrand. So we have an extension of the question. I find it very interesting and also very refreshing. The person seems not to be in Europe, but rather in India. And they are talking about an approach which is basically almost a crowdsourcing of procurement, okay, where it goes more bottom up. So me personally don't have the experience in Europe, since that we have a more departmental organizational structures, which are the main procurements. But I personally think that it's very refreshing to see that this is happening in other parts of the world. I don't know if any of you want to comment on this in this question / comment. No. If not, for the sake of time, I'm going to ask the audience. You guys have the policymakers here. We have Bertrand and other EC members here. I encourage you, I give the last round and I ask you to start thinking, the panelists, of what will be recommendation suggestions. So we have talked a lot about the challenges. Now, let's talk about the solution side, okay? And be prepared for that. I'm going to ask you for one solution. So I'm also asking, meanwhile, the audience for what will be those policy actions, instruments, ideas, what could be done, either the European Commission, but also the ecosystem. I mean, all we are here are supporters, so to say. Sonia, Marlene, Tritio is an actor, but especially the European Commission, also that we can do things. So please share those things. Let me see what is the new question that we have. Okay. So, right. So again, for the sake of time, let's see how, let's move into the solution space. Okay. So Patricio, I start with you. Give us an idea of what could be done. Could we do so?
Yeah, well, in our case, as Bertrand said, if there would be something related with the laws, of the European Commission, like encouraging this contracting, or at least reducing the bureaucracy or the needs that we need to cover or to fulfill, to at least start with the pilots, because they can be, low risk. We can work with something that is not a lot of money, but that can really give results. And from that, if with that help us to receive more funding, private or public, and with that we can fulfill all the rest of the requirements, we can escalate and be something important and help, the society. Because that's the point. It's like the fish that is trying to eat, the queue, but we need to promote in some way. Other things like the current EIC initiatives for us are quite good. I mean, to have the opportunity to pitch, and then to have this previous okay from the European Commission is something quite good to open doors, but then you have to work on the process.
Right, thank you very much. Also, there is another question from Michael in here. Oh, sorry, from regarding that. Well, there is a startup. The solutions are not very well known. That is live. I mean, there are so many potential solutions. Here, the key, I think, is more than rather to have an enormous listing of solutions that nobody can update and consume. It is more how to engage with key potential customers so they know what you are doing and the potential what you are bringing. Okay, so again, let's focus on the need, not in the solution. And in our case, in innovation procurement, demand-driven co-creation, here the key is that the whole ecosystem, but also including the companies, try to engage with potential customer as soon as possible so they get to know you. Okay, so that would be my particular advice. I'm sorry, Sonia, I took your time. Please go ahead with your last sharing of insight.
Yeah, I think I highlighted it before, but I want to highlight it again. So I would recommend, and it's a pretty different level than what Patricia said, but I would highlight to rethink communication and collaboration between the ones who decide on the procurement and the ones who actually use the solution to deliver a service, because I see often a very big barrier sitting between these two groups. So that would be my recommendation. Don't ask me about how.
You know me. Okay, Marlene.
Well, it's good we're running out of time, so we don't get any more of the really difficult questions. So yeah, my solution or my way forward is actually linking to Patricio. So we are quite aware that we have all of these national ways of procurers engaging with companies, but national to national. And we want to develop, or we currently are developing, a link between all of those national platforms. So it will be easier for innovative suppliers to also participate in open innovation challenges from other countries, because currently that's not as easy. And this will also include a description for each of the countries, at least that are part of our network at the moment, how to participate in open innovation challenges in those countries, because it's not always the same. And hopefully that is already helpful in making the barrier to entry for companies a bit, lowering them a bit. Yeah.
So cross-border.
Yes,
super important. For cross-border. I guess also that goes related to creating European champions. Sometimes what we see is that we are reinventing the wheel in every country, yes, and sometimes in every region. That doesn't really make too much sense. So helping to create cross-border champions that they can compete at world level with other countries. Bertrand, last but not least, any sharing?
Yeah. First of all, trying to answer to the difficult questions notably from Amit Kumar Gupta from India. Just to suggest actually that perhaps here in Europe we have such an approach on community involvement in some decisions that are made actually in relation to procurement or project development. Here I'm mentioning all the new trend of participatory budgeting. So it's not exactly procurement per se, but still, it's where when you are actually involving your citizens, your consumers, or even your members, your workers, in the uses of your budget as a local authority, as a region, as a government. When you give them the possibility actually to elect, to select, or to suggest projects. So it will be my answer to your suggestion, which is still very interesting. To come back on the latest development, the latest exchanges, yeah, perhaps also based on my experience as a local councillor here in my city in Brussels, just to mention and to perhaps to react on what Marlene has said about the going towards collective approach in procurement, or the grouping of procurement authorities that can be cities, communes, but also regions, hospitals, fire brigades, schools. Because what we also quite often observe, and this is not new either, is that the level of knowledge, the capacity, again, the resources, the pressure on the services are very high, and the resources often quite low actually. Financial resources, which also give more time, are very low, and also resources to find the proper expertise. So one of the solution is to go together, to go collective, to go towards framework contracts, perhaps, to procure together, to have a leading procurer organized at national, regional level, or European level. And I do believe that this will give more time, more expertise to engage precisely with the suppliers, and perhaps to go for more innovative solutions. So this is perhaps one of the ways, and I think it also refers to Samira's initiatives, the grouping the buyers, this group of buyers that we have been actually using the EAC also. We have been using the group of buyers that Samira and DG Grow have been launching. We have been using it with the EAC actually to organize some meeting between our companies, our very innovative companies, such as the one of Patricio, and this group of buyers of innovation. So yeah, that will be my later words on this aspect.
Thank you very much, Bertrand, and all the panelists. I'm going to I know I don't see questions, so I'm going to make a small summary of the key ideas that I've seen. Seems that we need more training, more capacitation. That's one of the things. Patricio said that trust is a key element in order to engage with procurers. Sonia has brought to the table this very interesting concept of innovation meets reality. Okay, one thing is to create a solution that is nice. Okay, that's the easy bit. This, in my opinion, the problem is how do you fit this solution into the real world. Change management has been mentioned as well. This is a new way to do things, and also the involvement of the different stakeholders within the procurement organizations. Then there is this concept of how to better connect suppliers with buyers, and then the cross-border aspect that has been also mentioned. Now, I have to say, I want to finish that if there are any procurers in the telco, I think they will not like them to be called procurers or buyers. Me personally, I wouldn't like that. I mean, we told them because we told them in a kind of policy level, but we should tell them that they are more innovative drivers, that they have the power through the procurement capabilities to change not only their services, their public services, but also the growth landscape of private companies, especially startup companies. So even if these forums, we call you procurers or buyers, no. You are an instrument of change. Okay, take it from there. Take it from there. So without that, unless you have any last comments from the panel, I'm going to close the panel. I want to thank the panelists. I want to thank Innovire for this opportunity, and then I will give the word to Katia. unless you want to say something else. No?
No,
Katia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jorge. Yes, so as we are now starting a reverse speech session, what does that mean? It means that the next speakers will present you different EU-supported opportunities, all of them for buyers of innovation. This will be a fast-paced session with each speaker presenting in only 3 minutes what they have to offer you. The agenda includes the presentation of 9 different EU-supported opportunities. So without any further ado, we will jump right away into the first one. Miguel Gonçalves will present us what InnoBuyer has to offer for buyers of innovation from any sector. So please go ahead, Miguel.
Thank you very much, Katia. So let's talk about InnoBuyer. It's a pleasure to present the project. So InnoBuyer in a nutshell, we provide expertise and funding support for organizations with unmet innovation needs. And we do that in 4 steps, 4 sequential steps. First of all, we want to invite big public and private organizations to apply for InnoBuyer with problems, with challenges, with unmet innovation needs. And we will help them to better define those challenges, make them more interesting for SMEs and more understandable also for SMEs. And that will be the first stage. On the second stage, we will connect those public and private organizations with the best innovative SMEs who will be able to suggest and bring proposals to solve the challenge that were identified in the first step. And after this matchmaking approach done in the first 2 steps, we will then move to the third one, which is the co-creation of a pilot in which the innovative SMEs will be able to develop a solution totally oriented to address the challenge of the organizations. And if the pilot is successful, InnoBuyer will also provide funding support to help the buyers prepare a tender to acquire the solution that was developed in the co-creation phase. And so regarding funding, we have funding attached to each one of these steps. So buyers and procurers involved in the first action will get 10,000 euros. On the second stage, 10,000 euros. On the third stage, the funding support will be split among the buyer, but also the solver. The solver will get most of the money, of course, to develop the solution for the challenger. And on the last stage, we have 15,000 euros dedicated to legal support to launch the tender. So what is really important that was already mentioned today, we have currently an open call for challenger with 1.1 million euros to support big public and private organizations. The call is open until the end of the month, so please don't lose this opportunity to get the support that you need to solve your innovation needs and your challenges internally. Key benefits, well, you can apply for InnoBuyer with up to 4 unmet innovation needs. This is totally funded by the European Commission, so buyers can get up to 41,500 euros directly for being involved in the 4 steps of the InnoBuyer approach. You will access top-notch companies that can receive up to 58,500 euros to co-create an innovative solution for your organization. This is demand-driven, it's based on your needs. Reduce paperwork, because we, as the InnoBuyer Consortium, will try to reduce as much as possible the bureaucracy involved in this program, and you will also get legal support to launch a tender if the conclusion of the pilot is a success. So if you need any information regarding the call, I invite you to go to the InnoBuyer website. You have the application kit with the guidelines for applicants and the proposal template, and you will also find there the open call webinar where we explain everything from the eligibility criteria, evaluation criterion, and everything that you need to submit a successful application. So in a nutshell, that was it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miguel. So we are now welcoming Carlos Larrañeta, who will present us another EU-funded project, the Procure for Health project. So please go ahead, Carlos, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Carlos Larrañeta. I work at Fundación Progreso y Salud, which is the affiliated entity linked to the Regional Ministry of Health of Andalusia. We are in charge of every activity related to research, development, and innovation activities. And I'm also the coordinator of the Procure for Health community. Who are we? We are a community of health and social care organizations that understand the potential that Procurement of Innovation, procuring innovation solutions has to improve the services we provide. But we also understand the complexity of the tool. So therefore, our objective is to capacitate ourselves to do more and better procurement of innovation. In a nutshell, we encourage the use of procurement of innovation in the healthcare sector, and our focus is on capacitating the demand side. How are we doing this? By developing and providing our members with a wide range of activities and services, such as access to curated resources that can guide you through every step of the process. You can access also to tailored training for procurers. You can learn from peers and exchange experiences. You can participate in discussion groups to promote strategic topics. Also, you can participate in working groups that will help you to identify cross-border common needs for your next innovation projects. We work to start learning from policy and expect to participate in the preparation of an action plan for policy advancements. But we also, and it is linked to everything that has been said up to now in this conference, we expect to have an impact on the promotion of the culture of innovation within the organizations, and to help us engage all the, let's say, stakeholders within the organizations into the innovation process. And finally, let me take advantage of this conference to announce that we're about to launch a call for twinings, meaning that we're going to fund partnerships for knowledge and experience sharing among procurers. We will provide up to 30,000 euros per partnership for it to happen. So please stay tuned. Our community is already open for new members. So I would like to encourage you to visit our webpage, register in our platform, and stay tuned because there is a lot going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Carlos, for complying with the time and for making us aware of these opportunities. So next is time for Louise Knight to present us the EU-funded project Proceeding and how it can help procurers. So Louise, the floor is yours.
Good morning. Thank you for organising such a wonderful event. I'd like to introduce Project Proceeding. I'm Louise Knight from the University of Twente, Professor of Public Sector and Healthcare Procurement. We're a team of 5 partners, 2 consultancy companies, one of which is hosting us today, and 2 municipalities, one in the Netherlands, one in Bulgaria, and the University of Twente. We started the project last October. It will run for 2 years, so we're still at quite early stages, but there are some things that we particularly like to tell procurement people who are on the call today. We're a Horizon Europe funded project, but we're very closely linked to the Urban Agenda Partnership for Innovative and Responsible Public Procurement. And that's now in its 2nd stage. The 2nd action plan was launched last year. It's a large network, pan-European, of cities and other stakeholders. And we're working on various fronts, but all around capacity building. The premise of our project is that there are an awful lot of resources out there, but they are hard to find. Can you find the right thing for the right level of learning needs, in the right language, at the right time, not behind paywalls, and so on. So what we're trying to do is, in effect, an audit of resources and also stakeholder needs, across 3 communities, the procurement people working in companies, but in particular in public contracting authorities, among suppliers, in particular entrepreneurs, and among educators and learners. So this is an important theme for us. We're trying to draw stronger connections with the university community. There's a lot of universities teaching a lot of people about supply chain management and purchasing, and for many of them, public procurement is not on their radar, and there's a big pool of talent we should be approaching there. We're working particularly in the cities context and particularly on green mobility and circular economy, but I think we will look, I know we will look much beyond that. So we will be developing this pool of resources and making it more readily accessible. So in terms of how we can help procurers, and indeed vice versa, because we are at the early stages, this is co-creation, we would love to hear from you. We're looking at stakeholder mapping and engagement and networking. We're building these maps at the moment. Please get in touch if you want to know more, or indeed would like to be in those maps. We're building this accessible resource base. We're actually running a survey right now, and that survey has several parts. It's aimed at all parts of the 3 communities I talked about, and we would like to hear about what your learning needs are, and indeed if you have shareable resources. In terms of leadership, we're very interested not just in developing competencies for issuing tenders and contracts, but how do the leaders in municipalities create an environment which is conducive to innovation being part of the routine. And we are developing some courses around legal frameworks. So please, if you want, register your interest. And last but not least, we want to build these bridges between procurement people, particularly working in cities, and university educators. There's lots of students who need assignments, want to do research projects and so on, and are a good source of talent. Please get in touch with us. Esme Peters or myself, I'll put my email in the chat afterwards, and our slides will be made available afterwards, won't they, Katja? Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, Louise. So now to talk us about the BUILD project and what opportunities it offers, we are welcoming Dominika Frolinova. So Dominika, please go ahead.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Dominika Frolinova, and I work at Pedal Consulting, which is the coordinator of BUILD project. So in full, building capacities innovation of procurement started in October 2022 and will last for 2 years. So as the title suggests, the aim of the project is to promote the use of public procurement of innovation and to increase capacities of cities in innovation procurement. So we have 6 partners in the consortium, and we are 4 countries to target. So it's Finland, Estonia, Slovakia, and Netherlands. So in our consortium, we have 2 consultancy companies, which is Pedal Consulting and Civita. Then we have 3 municipalities, City of Turku, Tartu City, and City of Rotterdam. And we have 1 expert body, which is Wallonia in Finland. So what we are actually doing, so the objective of BUILD is to basically unleash the potential of public procurement of innovation, so to enhance its adoption via different activities. So it is to create the further platform to encourage collaboration among public buyers, but to also spread innovative culture, knowledge, and skills, and ultimately to increase the capabilities of public buyers in public procurement of innovation, and to also link and establish synergies with similar initiatives and projects. So our primary targets are public buyers, mainly cities and regions, and also innovative SMEs and startup companies. So we will produce different key outputs during the project. So we mainly focus on, so we will have 4 events that will be for buyers and suppliers to discuss their needs and also their challenges. We already had 2 events in City of Turku in March, and now we will have 2 events in City of Tartu. Then we will produce also BUILD Insight report, which will be a deep analysis of buyers' needs and gaps, and the plan how to focus further steps of the project on this. And we will also have the BUILD value proposition, which will be basically an overview of how BUILD can help public buyers and database of relevant stakeholders. And then ultimately, the project will also provide trainings staff exchanges, and simulation training. So we will have at least 4 trainings to public procurers on how to procure innovation. It will be focused on different themes, but these are yet to be discussed, as this will be only at a later stage of the project. And the staff exchanges will help to facilitate mutual learning and cross-dissemination of ideas. And then there will be final simulation training to evaluate the preparation of the public procurers. So if you want to, thank you very much for your attention. And if you want to learn more about the project, you're more than welcome to visit our website, follow us on social media, or if you have a specific question, please get in touch with us directly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dominica. Our next speaker is Silvia Paolella. Silvia is going to present us the InnoFacilitator EU-funded project and what it has to offer us. So please go ahead, Silvia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm Silvia Paolella, International Affair Coordinator for Medicine Paris Region, and we coordinate the project Health InnoFacilitator, that is a European facilitator community promoting public procurement of innovation in healthcare. First of all, to go through the overall objective of our project, we want to foster and nurture a sustainable community of innovation procurement, increase the awareness, skills, and knowledge about innovation procurement, improve SMEs and startup capability to access innovation procurement, of course, leverage capabilities among the buyers, enhance cooperation between public and private organizations, and promote best practices, value-based procurement, and EU dimension of solution. First of all, how are we going to do that is through the consortium that represent all of our stakeholders. We are a consortium of 6 partners and 1 affiliated entity, that is HEPA. You'll notice a lot of common partners with the project Procure for Health, with which we've begun cooperation, so we're very happy about it. I want to quickly go through the key moments of the project. The project has started in October 2022, so we're still in the process of building our community that will gather public buyers and service providers in collaboration with EPA, that is so our affiliated entities and part of our advisory board, just like Procure for Health announced as well. And we have an online matchmaking event between the public buyers and the service providers that will be joining our community in January 2024. Then the key moment, of course, is all about our package 3, that is about our training. We will create an accessible, dedicated training portfolio to improve the skills and capabilities to design innovative procurement, improve the overall knowledge, and raise awareness for the buyers, but also for the service providers. We have 3 training package. First, on leverage on best practices, success stories based webinars. So that will begin pretty soon in April. Then we have the second training package, that is support for innovation and technology management. And last but not least, a training support and coaching package towards the public buyers, in which we will select 5 public buyers that will receive direct coaching session through our expert in the consortium. Please don't hesitate to follow us on LinkedIn and the website, especially LinkedIn, where we will announce pretty soon the launching of our community and I'll give all the info about the project. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, Silvia. So we are now moving from the health sector to the climate change topic. Mark Pattison will present us the EU-funded project Protect, Procuring Innovative Climate Change Service. So Mark, when we are seeing your presentation in edit mode, if you want to please share it in presenter mode, the floor is yours when you're ready.
Good. Thank you for the invitation. As you said, I'm Mark Pattinson from GAC. We're looking at a pre-commercial procurement initiative funded by the European Commission, where we're combining the Earth observation dimension with the climate change agenda. So very topical. An international consortium, as you'd expect, with procurement experts such as Corvus, with cities participating, such as the City of Haarlem, with European networks like EURADA, Climate Alliance and the Climate Kick, some technology experts as well, clusters, Aerospace Valley. Quite a short period of activity, 24 months. So we're having to do a lot in a short time. In a nutshell, what is Protect about? It's trying to help a community of public authorities, buyers, or to pick up a phrase that was used earlier, innovation leaders, to try and help shape the next generation of climate adaptation and mitigation measures based on Earth observation data. So it's not just about satellites looking down, it's also about the sort of sensors and captors you can put on the ground to provide information on the climate adaptation measures that could be deployed. We're looking at 5 areas. You can see them on the slide there. I won't list them all. But why are we doing this? Is because next year there is a large-scale PCP going to be launched by the Commission on climate change and adaptation, 19 million euros. So our job in Protect is to prepare the European community stakeholders for this call. Everybody on this call knows all about PCP, but just to remind you, we're right at the beginning of this process. Here you can see Protect in the open market consultation phase. We've moved through PCP through to PPIs, where you've got much more detailed and engagement from the private sector suppliers. And one example of the type of work we're doing, which could be of interest, is clearly identifying the service providers. So already almost 250 service providers have been identified. You can see by country and also by the different technologies that we've analyzed. What are we doing on the ground? Where you can, when you connect with the Protect community, you will be able to join in a whole host of different training activities, e-pitching, training for preparing your own tenders, and also getting ready to respond to the PCP call. And that's really the heart of what Protect is trying to do on behalf of the Commission. Coming back to some of the thematic areas, some of you might be interested in creating communities and sharing interests and topics. You can see we've got a range of what we call pain point workshops, marine coastal environments, urban communities, etc. So all of that can be found on the website. And we're offering a detailed package of training for the different interested parties. It can be the companies, it can be the local authorities, it can be intermediary agencies. As you can see, there's a full range of training services that are on offer, all free, all online. And in terms of getting the target audience ready, there's an open call for public authorities, and they join this community. And tomorrow will be launched, no, in fact, this afternoon, 2 o'clock, we're launching the sort of community tool that enables people to change their views, hopefully adapt their tenders and get ready for this next call. So for those who want to get more details on where Protect is taking you, or Protect is trying to build consortium, advise consortia to respond to this call. We think it will be coming out in early 2024. The draft is already available, and you can see there's 19 million for customization and pre-authorization of prototypes and user services for climate adaptation and mitigation. So if you want to follow, you can see there are many, many opportunities. You've got the Twitter, the LinkedIn's, the website, etc. And we're very much looking forward to working with the whole of the European innovation buyers and innovation procurement actors linked to climate change, which is one of our major challenges today. There you go, Katja.
Thank you so
in the time slot.
Thank you so much, Mark, and thank you for sharing these latest news with us. I'm now giving the floor to Elena Lopez, who will present us the EU project Health Chain and what opportunities it has to offer. So please go ahead, Elena.
Thank you very much, Katja. So I work for TIC Biomed. I'm Elena Lopez, as Katja said, and we are the coordinators of the Health Chain project, boosting health chain within and among regions. So Health Chain aims to test a new innovation model in the healthcare sector that has 4 main characteristics. The first one is that it is ecosystem enabled. So it will set up structured links between the stakeholders in the region to procure innovation. The second is that it's demand-driven. The challenger or procurer in the region will identify unmet needs that require innovative solutions. And then we'll enter a co-creation phase with supply-side stakeholders, such as IT companies, co-develop that and pilot it. And in addition, it's a model that is geared to adoption because the procurers in the project have committed to procure the solutions if the pilots are successful. With this model, we believe we will increase the capacity of healthcare organizations to innovate and resulting in digital solutions with a higher success rate. And finally, and at the same time, increasing and speeding up the internationalization process of companies, as well as boosting their commercialization. In the project, we have now 5 regional ecosystems from less and more developed regions, as the project is funded by the European Commission through the I3 instrument that aims to increase the capacity of regional innovation ecosystems in emerging regions to participate in global value chains. In total, they will develop 15 digital health solutions to be co-created, piloted, accelerated, and adopted. So what's in it for you in this project? So we will launch a community of practice for new regions. This is what we call mirror regions, who will receive training and tools to replicate the model in their own territories. The model is made up by a challenger identifier, or a procurer in this case, an IT company, and an ecosystem supporter who dynamizes the stakeholders in the regions. The community is not launched yet, as the project is still in the earlier stages, but we encourage you to stay tuned for further opportunities that may arise. For that, please follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn under the username healthchain-i3. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you for sharing. So we still have 2 more opportunities for you. Vasilis Tsanidis is now going to present us a program from the European Innovation Council. So the floor is yours, Vasilis, whenever you're ready. And we are seeing your slides in edit mode.
Now?
Now, yet. They are coming. Yeah, we are just not seeing your camera. We would love to, if possible.
Sorry, is it okay now? Is it okay? Yes.
Yeah, the slides are great. We would just like to see you if possible. Your camera is off.
My camera is off. Okay. Okay. Now I think it's okay.
Yeah, we just need to see your slides in presenter mode. So they came back to edit mode.
Okay, I think
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for this delay. Actually, I will be very fast because I will give you a taste of the new European Innovation Council Innovation Procurement Program, and this is only a taste of it. I don't have time to explain more, but if we are myself and Bertrand, we are at your disposal to discuss more on this. Just very quickly, the new Innovation Procurement Program aims at creating a new landscape on innovation procurement in Europe, but also at global level, for the especially focusing on the supply side and innovation procurement. It is structured around 4 different angles, the EIC Innovation Procurement Partnership, the InnoBuyers program that you, in the framework of which we're having this event, the strategic use of innovation procurement program that I will explain more about this, and of course the pilots on the services of public and private buyers. A few words on the strategic use of innovation procurement program. It's a very ambitious program that actually we are now we have launched a tender to help us to find a contractor that will help us implement the activities foreseen in the context of this program that contains, inter alia, the creation of community of public buyers that are willing to interact and are interested in the innovations of the EIC beneficiaries. We are talking about a community of more than 6,000 top-notch innovators across Europe. This community of public buyers will have pitching events with the EIC innovators, but also it will receive assistance to buy innovation from us, including legal assistance. Then we will create a virtual community of private buyers. Again, a lot of activities will take place in the framework of this community, like virtual showrooms, pitching events with them, and of course prizes to the private buyers that willing to work with the EIC in this exercise. Then a very important activity is to provide assistance to beneficiaries, to innovators, to submit tenders in innovation procurement. So we will provide assistance to R&D, to EIC innovators to submit tenders in R&D procurements, in innovation procurements like PPI, and innovation private procurements. We will also create and host innovation procurement academies to actually master on knowledge in innovation procurements from the supply side. We will create a toolkit about innovation procurement viewed this time from the supply side, and of course we will have a help desk providing support to EIC beneficiaries that are willing to submit a tenders in innovation procurement. All this is in a concept, in a way to support to the enhancement of the capacity of the supply side to take part to access procurement markets in Europe, but not only in Europe, but also at a global level, because actually all these activities like assistance to submit tenders, innovation procurement academies, toolkit, and help desk will be offered also to suppliers, to EIC beneficiaries that are willing to submit tenders at global level, because actually this will help increase the competitiveness of the European economy. Last but not least, the fourth angle of the EIC Innovation Procurement Support Program is a new call. It is described in the EIC Work Program 2023. And actually, this new call that will be published on the 1st of June is aiming at providing support, financial support to EIC awardees to do proof of concept or pilot tests on the services of public or private committed buyers. The idea here is to help de-risk the uncertainty that innovative solutions may have, and encourage public and private buyers by innovative solutions, preferably by the EIC innovation solutions offered by the EIC beneficiaries. That's all. I hope I kept it 3 minutes time. Myself and Bertrand, we are at your disposal for any further information.
Thank you, Vasilis. And last but not least, I'll give the floor to Ana Lucia Yaramil. Ana Lucia will present us the opportunities that the European Assistance for Innovation Procurement Initiative has to offer. So please go ahead, Ana Lucia. We aren't seeing you yet. And I believe you are muted, but we can already see your screen. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you very much, Katia, for this invitation. I'm very glad to present the European Assistance for Innovation Procurement. I am Ana Lucia Jaramillo. I'm part of the legal team of Corbes. Corbes is a legal consultancy firm specialized in innovation procurement and based in the Netherlands. Let's see if it can pass the next slide. European Assistance for Innovation Procurement is an initiative of the European Commission with the purpose to support public procurers to implement more and better innovation procurements of ICT-based solutions across the EU. We have several tools available for you for free. We have a toolkit of 3 modules addressed to policymakers, procurers, and legal advisors. This is just one-stop destination for online help in preparing your innovation procurement. We also have webinars, conference, and workshops you could find in our website, iafip.eu. The recordings of the different webinars and the different events, also with the presentations, with the Q&As that can be helpful for you. We have examples of assisted cases of innovation procurements and also videos that you could see with testimonies of procurers that have been procuring more innovations and also research and development. IAFIP has developed methodology, a step-by-step methodology for innovation procurement that starts at the first step of the needs identification and following the state-of-the-art analysis, the open market consultation, the development of business case, the development of procurement strategy, the procurement procedure steps, contract management, and post-contract management. So these different steps are identified and described in the IAFIP toolkit with some examples from European cases, from cases also at national level. And the European assistance provides support to public buyers who have a concrete project on PCP or PPI regarding ICT solutions, with support, local support also throughout the experts of the legal network of legal procurement experts across Europe. So I would like to invite you to apply for assistance. This is a free assistance that could consist on support in all of the different stages of innovation procurement. You just need to fill in a survey. This is the link to the survey, and we will be happy to support you. And you have any questions, please contact us, and we will be happy to address these questions. Thank you very much, Kathy.
Thank you, Ana Lucia. And with this, we reach the end of our reverse speech session and the presentation of 9 different opportunities covering different sectors and with different types of supports. Thank you once again to all the speakers for these fast-paced presentations. And Miguel, I'm giving back the floor to you for final words.
Sure. Thank you very much, Katia. So yes, we reached the end of this session. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope you found this event informative and also enjoyable. We'd like to remind you that the recording of this session, as well as the slides that were presented, will be shared with all the participants. So if you missed something, or if you just want to revisit some of the key points, you will have the opportunity to do so. And we also obviously want to thank our speakers and presenters for sharing their experience and insight with us. It was really incredible. And finally, we would like to thank you, all of you, the attendees, and for participating and taking the time to join us today. We look forward to staying in touch and continuing the conversations around procurement and innovation and in all the opportunities that were presented today. And thank you again, and have a great day.